Blackhurst. Along with Elizabeth Blackhurst, I'm the Portfolio Manager for Prime Value Agriculture. I'm here with Charlie, who's our manager of this property, the first property we bought at Nangelock, and also at Killingdon down the road. We're just going to have a quick chat about our expectations for this year. For those of us who joined on our investor trip last year, we're standing in the same patch that we actually got out of the van last year in our Foras, which are now around about four years old. So for those who were here last year, you might remember the size of the trees and the fruit. As you can see, there's been a lot of growth over the last year. Charlie, I was just wondering if you could sort of outline your expectations for the current season. I know it's been a dry summer, and the expectations are probably for slightly lower yields than last year, but the quality of the fruit looks really strong. And yeah, I guess it'd be interesting to hear what your thoughts are for what we're to expect this year.
Yep, most definitely, yeah. Well, we have certainly had a drier summer, which has obviously required a lot more irrigation usage than what we would normally expect. And yes, crops are slightly down, but with that it also brings better sized fruit, which will hopefully improve our packouts and which will increase hopefully the dollar size of each packout that we get. With that, we've also gone into all the patches are now into KCT, which is a Korea, China and Thailand market, where the higher value dollars are for all fruit. There has been a little bit more work involved into getting it to that, but it's well worth the dollar at the end of the day.
So we're expecting for this season that we'll have lower volume, but we'll certainly have a high proportion of high quality fruit, both from just the fruit that's on the trees, but also that all the patches now basically qualify for KCT. So we're expecting that the sort of revenues we saw last year will hopefully be improved on for investors. Thanks. I'm here with Charlie. We're looking at the 195 acres that we're about to plant out with wheat for the winter crop. That's part of the land improvement, I guess, putting nitrogen in the soil. But maybe Charlie, if you can just run through exactly where we're going to do that, and you know, what the process will be from here.
Yep. Well, we're at the back location of the property, so we're going to work on from out the back here, where you can see the second row of pine trees, right across round to the left hand side, straight over to where the grapevines are over there, further down that boundary, back across over to where sort of like the power lines and that are there, back across the hill here, just this side of the dam, and then we'll come back this side of the current plantings and then up and around this bit of scrub and use up this vacant ground across to where that tree line is over there.
That's Peter O'Donnell, by the way, head of Southern Cross for everyone who's met him.
What we've had done is we've actually had the ground previously worked up and sprayed, so it's nice and clean and ready to go. We're currently working on having all the irrigation up and running. We'll give that a couple of good irrigations, allow a germination of weeds to come through and then spray it out, and from there we'll irrigate and plant more than likely within the next 2 to 3 weeks. So yeah.
Great, thanks very much, Charlie.
No worries.
So Charlie, if you could just explain what we're looking at behind you here, that would be great.
Yep, so these are the Ephoras that were planted September 2017. In between every 4 rows we actually have Sudax growing, which is there as a windbreak. Makes it a little bit harder for you to see the trees properly, but it's there for, as I said, for a windbreak to reduce the wind and help the trees through that period. There's 8.7 hectares here in total, so they're going along very, very nicely.
And what varieties are behind you?
These are all Ephora mandarins.
So the whole 8.7 hectares?
Is all Ephoras. There's 7,726 trees there in total. So yeah.
And that's part of a wider planting of how much was done in the spring last year?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, we actually done 22 hectares in total last spring, with mixed varieties of Imperial mandarins, Caracara navels, Star Ruby grapefruit and Late Lane navels. So which comprises the rest of that 22 hectares.
And on order for this coming spring in 2018, we've got basically the balance of the developable area of the property, so around about the same, slightly
Yes.
more
Yep,
again.
yeah, it's slightly more. I think from memory, it's around about 24 hectares or something around that mark.
Yep.
So,
Okay, great. Thank you.
no worries.
So this is the area closer up that we were just looking at behind Charlie when he was talking about the recent plantings. I'm here with Peter O'Donnell and Charlie. We're in a patch of M7s. They will be the first fruit that we pick for the season, but just wondering if, Charlie, you could just sort of give us a bit of background to what's about to happen here and the outlook, I guess.
Yep, so these are the M7 navels. We'll be looking to start picking these sort of the first week of May. What we're ideally looking for is a piece of fruit that's in my right hand with that sort of a colour. Currently we've got fruit that is sort of around this sort of colour mark. When you start to see around about 80 to 90% colour like this yellow, we'll start picking then, and then they'll be taken in and gassed.
And we gas them to get the colour into the fruit.
Yeah, to bring the colour up.
Yeah.
These will actually be looked at for export market and KCT this year. Having said that, the local markets are also very well priced as well. So yeah, no, they're a nice early navel. We'll sort of start with these, and then there'll probably be a week to 2 weeks break before we follow in with the Thompson navel and the Leng navel.
So I understand that it takes the frost to colour these up, so they're slightly warmer than I guess usual. Late summer, autumn has meant that while the fruit inside's pretty close to ripe or ripe now, we're just waiting for another week or two just for a bit more colour, hopefully get some cooler evenings.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so yeah, with that warmer summer and even a very warm autumn that we've had temperatures still in the high to mid 30s only in the last few weeks, we are short on those cooler temperatures to ripen the external side of the fruit up. Internally in a very good position at just over 50% colour, and which is around about ideal. So yeah.
Great. Thanks very much.